The more you practice taking action, the easier it becomes. It starts with small decisions, getting out of bed at the right time, completing a task, setting aside distractions, but over time, these small actions compound into bigger ones. Action builds the muscle of discipline. The more you do it, the more you condition yourself to act rather than delay. Over time, taking action becomes a habit, and procrastination loses its grip on you. Another important point is that action is not just about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Taking action means focusing on the tasks that will lead you to your goals. It's easy to get caught up in busy work, in tasks that keep you occupied, but don't actually move you closer to your objectives. To overcome procrastination, you must be intentional with your actions. Ask yourself, is this moving me closer to where I want to go? If the answer is no, let it go. Prioritize what truly matters and take deliberate action toward those tasks. At the heart of beating procrastination is the understanding that success is not determined by one grand effort, but by the series of small, consistent actions that you take each day. Each action builds on the last, and over time, the cumulative effect of those actions leads to the results you want. The most successful people are not the ones who wait for the perfect moment or for the stars to align. They are the ones who take action, who start before they feel ready, who move forward in spite of fear, who understand that progress is made through consistent effort, not procrastination. Taking action is the only way to turn your dreams into reality. Action is the key that unlocks potential and pushes you past your doubts, fears, and excuses. It's easy to put things off, but nothing will change if you don't act. If you want to make progress, you must commit to taking the first step, and then the next, and then the next. Action, not procrastination, is what creates momentum, transforms intentions into accomplishments, and ultimately shapes the future you want to create. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your growth, your mindset, and your success. We often underestimate the power of our environment, but the truth is that the energy, attitude, and behavior of those around us shape who we are and who we become. If you want to grow, whether personally, professionally, or spiritually, you must surround yourself with individuals who challenge you, inspire you, and support your development. Growth doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in connection with others through collaboration, through learning, and through shared experiences. When you surround yourself with people who are committed to growth, you are constantly exposed to new ideas, perspectives, and possibilities. These individuals push you to think bigger, to stretch beyond your comfort zone, and to aim higher. They challenge you in ways that help you see your own potential and help you break through the limitations you may have placed on yourself. Growth is often uncomfortable, and having people around you who are also striving to grow makes the process easier. They hold you accountable and encourage you to keep going, even when the road is tough. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who are stagnant, negative, or complacent, it's easy to get stuck in that same mindset. Negativity and complacency are contagious, and if you spend too much time with people who are not striving to grow, it becomes harder to move forward yourself. You may find yourself making excuses, procrastinating, or even doubting your abilities because of the energy and attitudes of those around you. This doesn't mean that you should avoid people who are struggling or who don't share the same vision. But it does mean you need to be intentional about who you allow to influence your life and your mindset. The people you surround yourself with should be those who inspire you to reach your potential. These individuals encourage you, but they also hold you accountable. They believe in your vision and are willing to give you constructive feedback to help you improve. They don't simply tell you what you want to hear, they push you to be better. Whether it's a mentor, a peer, or someone who shares similar goals, having a circle of people who are committed to growth creates an environment where you are constantly challenged and motivated to improve. In addition to individuals who inspire and challenge you, it's important to seek out those who have complementary skills, knowledge, and perspectives. Surrounding yourself with people who have strengths that complement yours enriches the opportunities for learning and collaboration. No one person has all the answers, and when you connect with people who bring different strengths to the table, you can learn from one another and grow together. It's through these collaborative efforts that innovation happens and new solutions to challenges are born. It's also important to surround yourself with people who encourage a growth mindset, which is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. A growth mindset leads to resilience because it helps you view challenges and failures as opportunities to learn and improve, rather than as obstacles to your success. When you are around people who embrace a growth mindset, you begin to internalize that belief. You stop seeing failures as permanent and start seeing them as part of the learning process. A growth-oriented environment fosters an attitude of perseverance and curiosity, where you are constantly looking for ways to improve and evolve. The process of surrounding yourself with growth isn't just about who you spend time with, it's also about what you expose yourself to. The books you read, the content you consume, and the experiences you seek also play a role in your growth. If you want to expand your mind and push yourself toward growth, you must be intentional about what you allow to shape your thinking. Seek out resources that inspire you, challenge your assumptions, and open you up to new ideas. Whether it's reading a book, attending a seminar, or engaging in discussions with people who have different perspectives, continually feeding your mind with growth-centered content is just as important as the people you surround yourself with. In addition to the people and resources that support your growth, it's essential to create an environment that encourages learning and development. This could mean organizing your workspace, developing a daily routine that nurtures your physical and mental well-being, or choosing to spend your time in places that inspire creativity and motivation. Your environment should reflect your commitment to growth, serving as a constant reminder that you are on a journey of improvement. As you build your circle of growth, it's important to remember that you are not only receiving but also contributing. True growth happens when you give as much as you receive. Be someone who adds value to others, whether by offering support, sharing knowledge, or encouraging them on their own journey. When you surround yourself with growth, you should also be willing to help others grow in return. This creates a positive feedback loop where everyone is lifting each other up and pushing each other to reach their full potential. Surrounding yourself with growth creates an ecosystem that nurtures your development. The energy of growth becomes infectious. The more you surround yourself with people who are striving to become better, the more motivated and inspired you will become to do the same. By building a network of growth-oriented individuals, embracing new ideas, and maintaining a commitment to continuous learning, you set yourself on a path of constant improvement and limitless potential. Growth is a collective effort, and the right environment accelerates your progress, helping you become the best version of yourself. Living with purpose means waking up every day with a clear sense of direction and meaning. It's understanding that each moment counts, and that every action you take has the potential to move you closer to your goals, your values, and the impact you want to make in the world. When you live with purpose, you are no longer drifting through life. You are intentional with your time, energy, and decisions, because you know what you stand for and what you are working towards. Purpose is not something you find externally. It's something you cultivate within yourself. It's a deep understanding of what drives you, what excites you, and what fulfills you. Too often, people live without a clear purpose. They get caught up in the daily grind, reacting to circumstances rather than proactively creating a life that aligns with their values and passions. They chase things that are not meaningful, like status, wealth, or approval, because they haven't taken the time to explore what truly matters to them. The result is a life that feels disconnected, unfulfilled, and driven by external expectations rather than internal desires. But when you live with purpose, you break free from this cycle. You make choices based on what aligns with your deeper values, not on what society or others think you should pursue. Purpose brings clarity to your life. It's the filter through which you assess your priorities, your actions, and your relationships. It helps you cut through distractions and focus on what truly moves you forward. Living with purpose doesn't mean that you won't face obstacles or challenges. In fact, having a strong sense of purpose makes it easier to navigate life's difficulties. When you know why you're doing something, when you have a clear vision of the outcome, setbacks become part of the journey rather than reasons to give up. Purpose provides resilience because it's rooted in something deeper than just a goal or a desire. It's connected to your core beliefs, to your sense of identity and contribution. This makes it a powerful force that keeps you going even when things get tough. It's purpose that helps you get back up when you fall and keeps you moving forward despite the odds. A key aspect of living with purpose is understanding that it's a process, not a destination. Many people think they need to have their entire life figured out in one moment, that they need to know exactly what their purpose is from the very beginning. But purpose is something that evolves. As you grow, your understanding of your purpose may shift, deepen, or change. That's okay. Living with purpose is about staying open to the journey and being willing to adjust along the way. It's about taking the time to reflect on your life regularly and asking yourself important questions. Am I on the right path? Does this align with who I want to become? Am I making the impact I want to make? These questions help you stay connected to your purpose and ensure that your actions are always aligned with your true desires. Living with purpose also means making intentional choices that honor your values. When you know what's important to you, you are better equipped to make decisions that reflect those values. You don't waste time or energy on things that don't serve you, and you don't allow distractions to pull you off course. Instead, you make decisions based on what will bring you closer to your goals and your vision for the future. This intentionality in decision-making is what helps you build a life of fulfillment and alignment. Every action, every choice, every moment becomes an opportunity to reinforce your purpose and make progress towards your ultimate vision. That purpose also gives you a sense of direction. Without purpose, it's easy to feel lost or aimless, to go through life without a clear sense of where you're heading. But when you have purpose, it serves as a compass, guiding you even in uncertain times. It helps you prioritize, focus your energy, and stay motivated because you always know the why behind what you're doing. This clarity is essential for achieving success and fulfillment. It's the driving force behind consistent effort, resilience, and commitment. Living with purpose also leads to a sense of fulfillment. There's a deep sense of satisfaction that comes from knowing that what you are doing is meaningful, that your efforts are aligned with your values, and that you are contributing to something greater than yourself. This fulfillment comes not from external rewards or recognition, but from the internal sense of peace that comes with knowing you are living authentically and intentionally. It's the fulfillment that comes from doing work that matters, from nurturing relationships that are aligned with your purpose, and from contributing to the well-being of others in a way that aligns with your values. Purpose is also contagious. When you live with purpose, you inspire others to do the same. Your commitment to your vision and your passion for what you do becomes a model for those around you. It motivates them to discover their own purpose and to take action towards it. Living with purpose doesn't just change your life, it has the potential to positively impact everyone you come into contact with. Your purpose becomes a ripple effect, touching the lives of others and encouraging them to live intentionally and with meaning. The most important thing to remember about living with purpose is that it starts with you. It's a decision that you make to take ownership of your life and create a vision that excites you. Purpose isn't something that happens by accident, it's something that you actively pursue. It's a process of self-discovery, reflection, and action. It's the courage to be true to yourself, to follow your passion, and to live in alignment with your deepest values. When you live with purpose, you are no longer merely existing, you are thriving, making a difference, and leaving a lasting legacy. Failure is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Far too often we view failure as a negative experience, a reflection of our inadequacies or shortcomings. But in reality, failure is one of the most powerful teachers you can have. It is not the opposite of success, it is part of the journey to success. Every person who has achieved greatness has encountered failure along the way. It's not the failure that defines you, it's how you respond to it. If you allow failure to be a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, it can propel you forward in ways that success alone cannot. When you experience failure, you are given the opportunity to learn in ways that success cannot provide. Success can be affirming and validating, but it doesn't always teach you the lessons you need to grow. Failure, on the other hand, reveals what needs to be improved, what wasn't working, and what needs to be changed. It forces you to look closely at your decisions, your strategies, and your mindset. It forces you to ask yourself what went wrong. What could I have done differently? What did I learn from this experience? These are the types of questions that lead to growth. The key is not to let failure stop you, but to allow it to fuel you. Every time you fail, you gain valuable insight that you can apply to your next attempt. Instead of viewing failure as a setback, view it as feedback. It's the universe's way of telling you that something needs to change, or that you are being pushed to go deeper, work harder, or think more creatively. Failure doesn't diminish your potential, it enhances it. It teaches you resilience, patience, and adaptability, qualities that are essential for long-term success. Often we are afraid to fail because we fear judgment or rejection. Society has taught us to avoid failure at all costs, but this mindset only limits us. If you are not willing to fail, you are also not willing to take risks. And without risks, there is no real growth. To be successful, you must be willing to step into the unknown, to make mistakes and to learn from them. Every great achievement in history was preceded by numerous failures, and those who achieved greatness were not those who avoided failure, but those who were willing to learn from it and keep going. Failure also gives you the opportunity to develop resilience. Every time you get knocked down and choose to rise again, you become stronger. Failure forces you to build mental toughness and determination. It teaches you how to handle disappointment and discouragement without giving up on your dreams. Resilience is not something that comes from success. It is born from overcoming adversity. Each failure is a chance to grow stronger, to develop a mindset that is unshakable in the face of challenges. Another powerful lesson that failure teaches is humility. When you fail, you are reminded that you don't have all the answers, that you are human, and that success is not guaranteed. This humility fosters a willingness to learn from others, to accept feedback, and to continue to improve. It teaches you the value of perseverance, patience, and continuous learning. In the face of failure, you are reminded that the journey is just as important as the destination, and that growth often happens in the most difficult moments. Failure helps you redefine your relationship with fear. Many people avoid failure because they are afraid of what it might mean about them or their abilities. But when you shift your mindset and view failure as a natural part of the growth process, you begin to see fear for what it truly is, an obstacle to progress. When you no longer fear failure, you can take bold actions without being paralyzed by doubt. You can try new things, experiment, and take risks because you know that failure is not the end, it is simply a lesson on the path to success. One of the most valuable aspects of failure is that it teaches you persistence. It is easy to keep going when everything is going well, but it is in moments of failure that your true character is revealed. It is when things aren't going according to plan that you have the chance to show your commitment, your determination, and your will to succeed. Persistence is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up along the way. The most successful people are often not the ones who succeed on their first try, but those who keep trying, learning, and adapting until they get it right. Failure helps you refine your vision. Sometimes you don't know what's truly important to you until you fail at something. Failure forces you to examine your goals, your values, and your approach. It helps you clarify what you want and what you're willing to do to achieve it. In the process, you may discover that your goals have changed or evolved. You may find that you are passionate about something new, or that your previous approach wasn't aligned with your true desires. Failure, in this sense, helps you get clear on what you really want and gives you the opportunity to adjust your course. Failure is not a reflection of your worth or your potential. It's a reflection of your willingness to step out of your comfort zone and challenge yourself. It's the proof that you are taking risks, trying new things, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. The most successful people in the world aren't those who have never failed, but those who have learned to fail forward, to take every failure as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. If you can shift your mindset to embrace failure as a teacher rather than a hindrance, you will unlock the full power of your potential. The only true failure is not learning from your mistakes and not continuing to move forward with the knowledge you've gained. Failure is not the end of the road, it is part of the journey towards success. The law of incremental change is rooted in the idea that significant transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's the belief that small, consistent improvements over time lead to substantial and lasting results. Change, in its most powerful form, happens in increments. It's not always about making drastic, sweeping changes all at once, but rather about committing to continuous, small steps in the right direction. Every small action you take, no matter how seemingly insignificant, compounds over time and contributes to a greater transformation. Often people look at the success of others and believe that great achievements are the result of some magical breakthrough or one big decision. While breakthroughs do happen, they are usually the result of consistent effort, small changes, and continuous learning. Big changes may seem impressive, but they are usually built upon the foundation of small, incremental steps taken over time. What seems like an overnight success is often the result of months or years of gradual improvement. One of the most important things to understand about incremental change is that it allows for sustainability. When we try to make drastic changes too quickly, we often burn out or become overwhelmed. It's difficult to maintain extreme efforts for long periods of time. But when you make small changes and integrate them into your routine, they become habits, and habits are far easier to sustain. Incremental change allows for gradual adaptation. It enables you to build momentum without overwhelming yourself, and over time, this momentum leads to significant growth. Incremental change is less intimidating than the idea of making a complete overhaul of your life or your habits. When you break down a big goal into smaller, manageable pieces, it doesn't feel as daunting. Instead of focusing on the enormity of a task, you focus on one step at a time. This makes the process of change feel more achievable and gives you a sense of accomplishment with every small win. With each small step forward, you build confidence in your ability to succeed and in your capacity for growth. The law of incremental change also allows for learning and improvement along the way. When you make small adjustments, you give yourself the space to assess what's working and what's not. This continuous process of feedback allows you to refine your approach as you go. You don't need to have everything figured out from the start. As long as you're making progress, you are moving in the right direction. With each small change, you are learning what strategies work best for you, and that learning informs your next steps. This process of trial and error, along with incremental improvement, accelerates your growth and leads to long-term success. Another powerful aspect of incremental change is that it reduces the fear of failure. When you aim for small improvements rather than a dramatic shift, the stakes feel lower. There is less pressure to get everything perfect right away, and you give yourself permission to make mistakes and course correct as you go. Failure becomes a natural part of the process, not something to fear. Because the changes are incremental, you can learn from your failures, make adjustments, and keep moving forward. With each small setback, you become more resilient and better equipped to continue making progress. This principle is not only applicable to personal growth, but to any area of life. In business, for instance, incremental changes in processes or strategies can lead to major improvements in efficiency, productivity, and innovation. In relationships, small acts of kindness, attention, and care, when practiced consistently, build stronger, more meaningful connections over time. In health, small daily habits like eating a little healthier, moving more, and getting enough rest accumulate into significant improvements in physical and mental well-being. In the same way that a river wears down rock with constant incremental pressure, you can achieve profound results by consistently taking small actions. The power of this law lies in its simplicity. It's not about big, dramatic actions, it's about the discipline to make small improvements every day, even when the results aren't immediately obvious. Over time, these small actions add up to extraordinary results. The law of incremental change teaches you that transformation isn't a sudden event, it's a gradual unfolding, where each small step you take builds upon the last. One of the greatest advantages of incremental change is that it fosters patience and perseverance. When you commit to the process of small, continuous improvement, you learn to trust that the results will come. You stop expecting instant gratification and start valuing the journey itself. You understand that growth takes time and that success is built one small step at a time. This mindset is liberating because it allows you to focus on what you can control, your daily actions, without worrying about immediate results. The law of incremental change is about consistency, patience, and the belief that small actions done consistently over time have the power to lead to extraordinary transformation. It encourages you to focus on progress rather than perfection, and to understand that every small step forward is a victory in itself. When you embrace incremental change, you stop trying to do everything at once and instead focus on creating lasting change that is sustainable and meaningful. The power of this law is that it's not about quick fixes or short-term results, but about building a foundation of steady, consistent growth that will eventually lead to massive, lasting change. It's the small, everyday decisions that shape the future, and when you trust in this process, you open yourself up to unlimited possibilities. Remember that the journey of transformation is not defined by giant leaps, but by the consistent steps we take each day. Small changes, when compounded over time, create the momentum necessary for remarkable growth and lasting success. The law of incremental change teaches us that transformation is a process built on patience, resilience, and the unwavering belief that every small action brings us closer to our greater vision. You don't need to change everything at once. Start small, remain consistent, and trust that every step, no matter how minor it seems in the moment, is part of the foundation for your success. Embrace the power of small, deliberate actions, and you will discover that the impossible becomes possible through the quiet strength of incremental progress. The path to greatness is not a sprint, it's a steady, deliberate walk, taken one small step at a time. Keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps may seem, because each one brings you closer to the person you are meant to be.